Welcome to the Omegon Push Plus product presentation. Unboxing. Please use a clean and flat surface to place all the components removed from the box. Make sure you have enough room to place the wooden parts. Remove the boxes from the working area. Keep all the original packaging for the first days. Here is a general overview of what's inside the box. Wooden parts assembly. To start the assembly, we need the Allen key and 6 of the 16 supplied screws. This is a one-time assembly, so you only need to do this once. Fix the 2 reinforcement panels to the side panel, using the 6 screws and the supplied Allen key. This takes just a few minutes to do. Make sure the parts are flush to each other and the screws are really tight. The parts should be firmly attached to each other. We now proceed to the second panel, basically doing the same as we did before. Make sure it doesn't wobble at the end, and as soon as you're finished you can proceed to the next step. We start now with the assembly of the front panel. The front panel adds a little bit more stability to the Push Plus base. We now need another 3 screws and the Allen key as shown before with the other parts. It is really simple. Take your time to do it, and as soon as you're finished, you can proceed to the next assembly block. But before we move forward, we have to release the top disc from the pre-assembled base. Use the 2 supplied nut wrenches. There is a locking nut on one side and a washer, and on the opposite side we have a bolt and another washer. We are going to use the wrenches to release the nut and therefore remove the top disc. It takes just a few turns to do it. Make sure you keep all the parts and carefully remove the top disc without touching the electronics or the encoder disc. We are now ready to fix the disc to the pre-assembled parts. Just place all the screws, make sure they don't protrude. It is much easier if someone holds the base for you while fixing the disc. Ask for help if necessary. The top disc will slide on top of 3 Teflon pads. It is really important that the screws are completely threaded to avoid them hitting the Teflon pads and damaging them permanently. We just need now to place the triangular base to the top disc. We repeat the previous procedure. We place the bolt and the washer on one side and the nut and the washer on the other side, and use the wrenches to fix it. Make sure that the disc rotates on top of the triangular base with a little friction. It should not be loose. Installing the foot sets. Use the 3 plastic foot sets and the 3 screws to fix the leveling system to the base. The screwdriver is not included. Please use your own. Make sure it is the correct size for the screws. Use a little bit of force at the end to ensure that the parts are really fixed. Thread the 3 foot bases, use them to level the telescope in the future. The one-time assembly is now completed. Installing the cable. Use the cable and the 3 supplied clamps. Use 2 on the side and 1 on the bottom. Pass the cable through the clamps. Connect both ends to the sockets. There is an audible click when doing this. Index alignment. It is really important to identify the indexes and align them before using the push plus. There are 2 indexes, one on the azimuth axis and the other one on the altitude axis. Make sure to align both. Installing the smartphone adapter. The smartphone adapter is compatible with a multitude of smartphones. Make sure you use it to hold your smartphone while using Push Plus. Please go to the product download section for more information. Installing the supplied power cable. You can power Push Plus using the supplied power cable. First install the optical tube to Push Plus, align the indexes, and then power.